Do I know you?
Oh my god, I just scared the shit out of myself because I turned around and then I turned back around. Oh my god!
Hello! Welcome back to the Stoop! Welcome back to Stoop Gang Bosnia! We got Stoop Gang Bosnia and Stoop Gang Florida! Tonight, and tonight only. Well, and next week. And the week after that. And the week after that, and the week after that, but not after that. I think I counted right. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. How are we doing? I hope we are doing well. Welcome back to the Stoop. Welcome back to the Stoop Gang Basketball Association. We've got 4 more games lined up, 2 undefeated teams, 2 teams still looking for their first win, and 4 teams falling dead in the middle, all at 2-2. Everybody looking to improve. The big question today, do the Basketbirds and Ballers stay undefeated? I think they do. And then meet each other. Why you gotta be like that, dude? Next week, as 2 undefeated teams facing off, only one could stay undefeated. Will anybody go undefeated? Will we have... 2 teams can't go completely defeated. Well, we could have one. It's a bit odd, but with the round robin style. Anyway. Yeah, more of this fucking basketball shit. And then tonight we have more SGFL. We've got Patriots at Starman and Jets at Goldens. Ooh, should be interesting. Should be interesting. Those might be some pretty one-sided games. We'll see. Patriots looking for their first win, and Starman looking to stay undefeated. Golden's looking to stay on track, and the Jets looking to find the road. But that's for a little later tonight. Let's segue over here and see who we've got lined up for this evening. First up, we've got the 69ers at the Goaltenders, followed by Philosophers at Basketbirds, Ballers at Robots, and then Crime at Rocks. That should be a good game. Everything else, I'm curious about Philosophers Basketbirds, but I think Basketbirds win that. I think the Robots are not going to be able to handle the Ballers. And I guess the 69ers suck. They haven't won anything yet, and the Goaltenders are at least pretty hot. They score a lot, so I think they lost last week, but it was close. Well, they lost to the Ballers by 8, but that was their largest deficit yet. I believe, no, I'm pretty sure they do just keep, yeah. They just keep doing overtimes over and over. So, hypothetically, we could have, like, a very high-scoring SGBA game with the overtime ceiling being, I guess, infinite. I mean, you would think that... I mean, I don't know if it has the capacity to be genuinely infinite, or if, like, after 9 or 19... overtimes it would like crash, you know, like I would be worried about that, in which case I guess we would have no choice but to record it as a tie, because that'd be kind of just badass. If it was a postseason game, though, we'd have to just start a new game, I guess. I don't know, that'd be interesting. I don't know. That's very unlikely to even see, like, a double overtime. We've only had 1 overtime so far. And then the overtime period was very one-sided. They went into overtime tied 40-40, and then Basketbirds beat Crime 46-40. 6-0 overtime period, so... yeah. Also, I think the overtimes are shorter. Also, they're like 2 minutes instead of 4 minutes. I think they're programmed to be like half the length of whatever you have the quarters set to. But yeah. I actually didn't think about that. At least not beyond the fact that there is overtime. to some degree, but yeah, it technically could go on forever. Which means that, yeah, there's no limit. I'm waiting for the, see, what is sextuple? Is that 6? Is that 6 overtimes? I'm waiting for the guy that scores 99 points, and then the game can't show, actually, and then it caps out and he actually scored like 112, but the game can't record it on his score sheet. Because there's probably only 2 digits in that spot. Or 2-digit values in that spot on the score sheet after the game. That's what I'm waiting for. That'd be cool. Which means it might happen today. Ooh, let's get our first double overtime today. That'd be badass. Double AOT. Double AOT. You gotta work your way up a little bit to Oh! The Devils won. Forgot to settle up the prediction from last night. Congratulations to the Devils betters. Okay, let me start up this prediction. Handsome at goaltenders. There we go. Yeah, sextuple's 6. Okay. Thought so. Usually only count up to quintuples myself. Okay, let me pause this music, which was a little quiet, admittedly, but whatever. We're jamming now. Slamming, jamming. I had a Space Jam shirt on earlier. I switched to this tank top because it's kind of warm, but I had it on earlier. Everybody get up. It's time to slam now. We got a stoop jam going down. Welcome to the stoop jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the stoop jam. Let's get underway. There was a sextuple OT game in the NBA once. You will never guess the final score. Oh, man. I mean, you would think if I'd never guess it, then I would assume it's, like, shockingly low for that long of a game. Like, neither team scored more than 100 or something. Am I, like, on the right track with that thought process? So far, so even between these two. Each tied up 4-4. Rhodey passes it into Kane. Hook shot. Sinks it. See, Rickard is the guy that I want to watch today for the goaltenders. He lights it up. He lights it up, dude. Rhodey off the block. Gives to Rickard, and there he is. There he is. Are you not going to tell me? Oh, okay. I'm going to guess like 98 to 90. There's so many possibilities that an NBA score can be. And again, if it's supposed to be surprising. Whoa! God damn it. I was this close to guessing like a score in the 70s. I'm so serious. Oh, man. That's crazy. 6 overtimes, and it was 75-73? When was that? That had to be, like, forever ago. Levitz, top of the arc. Gives over to Squaw. Who gives to Tobias, who sinks the jumper. 10-8. Goaltenders still lead. Jorge bringing it across. Gives to Anna. Over to Rickard. Rhodey. Who's going to shoot it? 3 to shoot. 2 to shoot. Got it. Wow. Using up that shot clock nicely. Full-bodied possession. And then Levitz just line drive right to the basket. In the 50s or 60s. See, that sounds right. Like, that didn't happen in, like, the 2000s. I thought it would be in, like, the 70s or something, but yeah, that sounds right. At least. Still, that's crazy. Was it just, I guess, like... I mean, even with, like, how few three-pointers they would have been shooting... I mean, well, no, there was no three-pointer back then. So that would have been a heavy contributor to why, I guess. But, I mean, even with that, it would have had to have been, like, just an insanely defensive game. '69ers trying to find an opening. They're beginning to fall behind in this one. Oh, it's poked loose. Fast break for Rickard. Puts a little flourish on the end there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. '69ers not able to find the bucket. This should be the final shot of the quarter. If they decide to shoot it at all, sometimes they just run the quarter out. Whoa, long one. Long two, it's blocked. Whoa! Oh, wow, okay, he didn't get the shot off. '69ers will possess first at the start of the second period. Right underneath the... Wow. Right underneath the bucket. Can't get it. Oh, man, the '69ers are so bad. On the other side, goaltenders are quite good. Ah, wayward pass out of bounds. I think that's the first of what will probably be many. That tends to happen a lot. Off season, everybody's going to need to go to a ball handling training camp of some kind. Whole league, entire everybody, every single one. Yeah. What? Wait, the 4 overtime game was in the postseason, wasn't it? Because wasn't that the Nuggets and Blazers? Or did that only go to triple overtime? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they played just like a ridiculously long like game, and then ended up having like a 6 or 7 game series on top of that. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. Is that the one you're talking about? Is it no? I think that might have just been a triple overtime, but it was a triple overtime in like a postseason game. So it was the compounded with being a part of a series that went long. So it was like you played a super extra long game on top of a long series. It's crazy. Oh, okay, it was 4 OTs, but that wasn't what you were talking about? Damn. Oh my god, I need to trim my mustache. It keeps getting in my fucking mouth. Long 2 by Rhodey, it's good. 12-point lead for the goaltenders. They're just taking care of business. Handling it. 69ers cannot get a handle on the ball. And a shot good. 30 points for the goaltenders. So what was the score? I would say probably pretty good, because we've already had a regulation like 62-60 and like 53-51, so that's not that far off. Okay, I don't know about that, but like I think they could definitely break 100 points, because so far the highest that's been reached is 70. That was last week by the Basket Birds. So, and they could have scored faster in some scenarios. So, like, hypothetically, or it could have been like a duel, because I mean we've had 62-60. So they can be high scoring for both teams. Both teams can score very quickly and just keep it moving. So that hypothetically could go to overtime and then could end up keeping that way, and who knows. Like I said earlier, the overtimes are half the length of a normal quarter, and the regular quarters aren't super long anyway, so it would take some doing, but I think it's technically possible. That's all we ever needed. Jorge with the 3. Oh, no good. That'll take us to halftime. Acania leads Handsome 34-22. They're shooting 80.9%. Just about 81% of their shots are finding the bucket. 69ers aren't even shooting that bad, but goaltenders are just leagues ahead of them in terms of skill and ability. On to the second half. On to the second half. Right. Well, I mean, I think it just depends. Like, you would think, I would agree higher scoring games technically are probably less likely, because there's the more scoring that's happening, the more opportunities there technically is for one to gain a gap. And the ones where the shitty teams are just throwing up bricks like 4 or 5 times in a row at each other, and then it's 10-8 at the end of the first. Those kind of teams, I think either or has the potential to go to overtime, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what we get first and what the cap really is. But yeah, I do get that reasoning. Get back to Stoop Gang, Florida. He can. He's yeah, like Cheb said, he has officially hung it up. I think this past offseason was his last chance to unretire, and he was not interested. I think he did mull it over. He gave it a good bit of thought, but Bosnia only now. And just like back when the SGFL started, it looks like and how the defenders were kind of like a good team, but in that second rung, at least for the first little bit, it looks like Acania is going to be the same way. They're really good, but they're kind of in that second rung, below the Basket Birds and the Ballers. But we'll see. We'll see. I know. I miss him too. He takes an incredibly, like, dialed back role on the goaltenders as well. Despite being the point guard, he is definitely, like, I don't know if he's a shot caller more than a shot maker. He does account for the majority of the threes, the 3-pointers, and he's good at them. But he guards the points. He does. I guess maybe he plays solid defense. I don't know. I should check see if he lands on the blocks or the steals list. He might. Oh wow, Levitz throwing up bricks. Here goes Rickard, breaking away! Slam it down! But no, yeah, he's, you get the impression that he's definitely taken on a more backseat leadership, observatory kind of thing. Here he is, bringing the ball across the floor now, passing to Kane. Obviously still on the floor, but just Rhodey and Rickard are the, like, super active shooters. They mean well, though. But, yeah, they account for... No! I did not even put Marth on the team. There's only 12 spots on the team, so... And I think I might have tried to include a couple new people. I don't know if we had Anna on anywhere. I don't know if I did that or not. But I wanted to bring back, like, old names. And then Marth was such a, like... In the original Fire Emblem playthrough, he was such an afterthought, and Jorge was the lead. And then, obviously, Jorge was the lead on the Defenders. Oh God, you know, he might be on the bench actually. Because to be fair, I have forgotten some of the players on the teams that are like on the bench and stuff for certain teams. So he actually might be there, but I would not be shocked if he's not. I seem to recall not even putting him on there. Because what is it, like 33 spots on the actual roster on the ROM for TSB? But for this, it's 12. So, gotta be a lot more, I guess, picky-choosy. In some cases, it works out because it allowed for certain teams that wouldn't have made good SGFL teams to exist in this capacity because they maybe didn't have quite enough characters to field an original team. But with needing less overall, it opens that up. Also nice, Captain Falcon. I said the other day that I couldn't believe Captain Falcon wasn't in a league somewhere. So I guess he's on his way. 52-34. Goaltender's personal best is 64. Looks like they may be trying to... what is it? Is it still... it's the fourth quarter now. Oh, they get the steal. Give to Kane. Oh, blocked. Kilgore gonna take it the other way for the 69ers, but you know, they're gonna try to catch that that record. They had the record for most points in a game, and then the Basketbirds took it back. Basketbirds had it, then they took it, and the Basketbirds took it back. It'll flip-flop a little less as we go on, but you know. Okay, 30. I don't know why I had 33 in my head, but 30, there you go. But still, that's, I mean, 18 more spots, which, you know, like I said, blessing and a curse, because with the less slots does allow for, like, certain ideas for teams to materialize. What am I trying to say? Nikita Missile and Stinger Missile. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I hope they end up on the Philosophers. Rickard balling out. They're up to 60. 60-38. My goodness. There's Dunk Jones getting involved. Well, too little, too late. But yeah, I don't... Let me see. Who's an example? I guess, like, the Rocks are, like, an example of that. I was trying to think of any teams currently are, like, an example of... like, having fewer slots being useful for coming up with the idea. It was useful just in coming up with the names, because it didn't take as long. It inherently wasn't as difficult, because there were less. Good shot by Tobias there. And that'll bring us to the wrap-up. 20-point W for the Acania Goaltenders. They did not make any of their three-pointers this time around. They tie their personal best, 64, and they hand it to the handsome 69ers, 64-44. Handsome still looking for their first win, and they are going to be looking a little longer. They play the Robots next week, so that'll be a battle of just the worst teams in the league, seeing who is truly the worst. Weed Cat! What is their first name? Or is it just first name Weed, last name Cat? Not really worried about it, you know. You know how to make it work. Yeah, I mean, you're the one that's gonna put it in there. You do whatever you gotta do. Oh, that's right. It was, Weed Cat was, it's from, like, the new one, right? I remember talking about that the other day. I don't need a save state for this one. Oh, dude, Cheb, I think the last, like, 2 weeks I've forgotten to send you, the save states. Guess it doesn't really matter. I could just send all of them at the... Well, no. I'm gonna... I don't know. I need to figure out which ones I haven't sent you yet. I just realized that. Alright, let's see who our leading score... Oh, wait. Let me settle up the prediction, and then we'll see who our top scorers were. Rickard with a cool 28. Rhodey with 20. Anna with 10. Jorge had 0. He went 0 for 3. Tried 2 3-pointers, and I guess I jinxed him because I said he was good at them, and then he went 0 for 2 on them, but, you know. Kane got in there for 6. Dunk Jones with the 18. Went 9 for 11. Angus Tobias, 16, 8 of 9. And Levitz, only 6. Unfortunate for them. Who's up next? Philosophers and Basket Birds. Bam. Yo, what up, Loki? Ah, not much, dude, not much. You, are just in time, actually. We just wrapped up our first basketball game of the evening. Welcome back to the Stoop and to the Stoop Gang Basketball Association. How you doing? But no, we just wrapped up our first game of the night. It was a cool blowout, 64-44, so nothing too major. Nothing too major yet. But we've got one of our top teams hosting a mid-tier team, it looks like, coming up next. So, hopefully we've got some good stuff coming up. Internet is being ass. That fucking sucks. I know how that goes. Does it just do that, or is it like your ISP being shitty? Let's fire up. Yes, okay, right, I remember. Weed Cat is, yeah, your... whatever that Pokemon is called. Does it say it on there? Sprigatito. That's right, I remember that. I don't remember when we were talking about that, but I remember we talked about it. Because I remember seeing the picture. Oh, did you send it to me? Did you just send it to me on Discord? I think that was what it was. Oh, yeah. Very common, our bandwidth is stretched to the limit, and it's windy, which always fucks with it, even though they say it doesn't. Really? The wind fucks with it? Interesting, I didn't know that. Oh, that sucks, dude. Hopefully it improves. Good to see you anyway, though. Welcome in, Loki. Hope you're having a good day. Saw Atlantic had some updates on Twitter. That's I was looking at it last night. Just want to say, very impressive stuff. Very cool. I hope you get the chance to stream some of it at some point, because I'd definitely like to like watch it and like see it like unfold in the moment. That would be super cool. But yeah, it's really neat. I like your team names. I like that they're the location ideas. When I saw your team names and the locations, like the city names or the town names, I was like, I totally understand why he likes Buster Falls. Cause it's kind of in that same vein as like really small town style, like, you know, turn of the century, like the impetus of like professional sports leagues, kind of whenever clubs were like literally clubs and not like giant businesses. I think that's really neat, really cool angle. Yo, what up, Emo Fergie? Welcome back to the Stoop and the Stoop Gang Basketball Association. How you doing, dude? Hope you're doing well. Hell yeah. Okay, no, Cheb, one of my ideas is actually the Knicks, but misspelled. That is one of my ideas for a second generation team. Or the Nets. Actually, the New York Nets with an E is actually probably a better idea. I thought of Knicks. The reason I thought of Knicks is because, well, I guess the Nets are also already in the game, but they're the New Jersey Nets. But that doesn't really matter. I can change it. But the Knicks are already in the game, so I wouldn't even have to edit their colors that much. Or, I mean, I could if I wanted to, but, like... Or, like, I wouldn't have to edit their logo even that much. I could, like, change... Or, like, add it... I thought about, like, adding a G? Or changing the K to a G? So it's, like, spelled kind of like Nats. But Knicks. How many times have the Nets changed their location? Dude, I don't know. I know they've been in Brooklyn and New Jersey. Brooklyn, New Jersey. Where else? The Bulls, but it's Bowls. Chicago Bulls. Well, I think we want to do a New York team because we have the Jets. It's just my musical project. Geneve? New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, Brooklyn. Were they the New York Nets at some point? I didn't know that. That does sound right, though. Oh, Knive. Gotcha. Knife. It's already a ban in the Philippines. I mean... Yeah, they might sue you, I guess. Sometimes it's hard to not, you know... I mean... If you're different enough... There's been artists before that have the same name, but they're, like, so different that it never really comes out. The Super Sanics. Rip Seattle. The Acania goaltenders actually replaced the Supersonics in the game data. Fun fact. Speaking of the Supersonics. But yeah, I thought of doing the Knicks since we have the New York JETE Jets, but actually, since you mentioned the Nets, that actually works a little better because it's, well, because of the obvious reasons. So I don't know, might go that route. Could do both. Probably won't do both, but the New York NETE Nets. It's got a ring to it. They probably wouldn't know or care, but I didn't want to buy it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I totally understand just not wanting to have the can of worms, like, sitting over there on the window with the chance that it might pop open, even though you're nowhere near it and it doesn't look like anybody's going to touch it. It might fall off the window and it might open. I get that. Still mad the Supersonics are gone. Yeah, I get that. I like the Supersonics. That's like, I have no affiliation at all, but, I mean, the Thunder are alright, but, I don't know, the Supersonics were just cool. Those were one of those teams as a kid that were like, I don't know, their color scheme and their vibe as the kids say. It was just really good. Dude, Philosophers are playing the Basket Birds tough right now. This is great. 18 to 18? This is... I said at the start I had my eye on this game. Basket Birds probably win, but I have my eye on this game. We'll see. B-Birds calling a timeout. Getting the other side of the court real quick. Baylor gonna inbound to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Oh! Robbery in the rim. See how they close out this half. I just looked up and realized that it's a good game happening. The New York Dingleberry. They, you know... Dude, the other thing is, like... I don't know how... Since I didn't do the edits, obviously. Cheb did for the SGFL ROM. I don't know if you had to specifically, like... If you only had, like... So when you were replacing a team, did you only have, like, however many letters were in that team's name to work with? Or is there, like, a default X amount of letters that are available in a team's name? Like for the matchup screen and shit. Because in this, there's a specific, like, amount, and it's coded to, like... I guess they were really packing the fucking cart for space. So... Right, if you go too long, you get fucked up, but there's not, like, a... See, in this, if you go too long, you get fucked up, but there's also, like, if you replace the Utah Jazz, you have 8 letters. Utah, and you have 4 letters between 2 words. Or 4 letters each word. So, I have to be very, like, picky. That's why with the original 8 teams, I was fitting them wherever they would fit and just having my ideas. But for going forward with expansion teams, I have to be very picky. Even just with, like, what the idea is, because of what will actually fit. And it can't be anything with an F, because there's no fucking Fs. F doesn't work. Zanzibar was supposed to be Foxhound, but they couldn't be. This game's weird. There's a limit, but it's longer than any reasonable word. Right, see, yeah, in this, it's literally the limit is whatever team name you are actively replacing. Which... I don't know. I hope I didn't fuck myself by not future-proofing more, like, specifically. I tried to be careful. We'll see. We've got an 18-18 ball game at halftime. Let's get into that second half. Yeah, there's no F. Yeah. It's not, it's the player names and all that can have Fs. They use a different tile set. But for the matchup screens at the very start of the game, whenever it shows, like, Zanzibar Philosophers versus Bayou Basket Birds, if you put an F, it would just be jumbled code, because there isn't one. I tried to find it. It's not there. And I realized nobody uses an F, so they didn't fucking make one. Which is really funny. No. Well, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I didn't think of that. And it led to, I mean, I like the, I think it worked out well. I like the, I like Zanzibar. I like the differentiation. I think, it was a limitation that led to innovation and serendipity. But it's odd. Just, like, the fact that there isn't one. But I guess if I need one in the future. But what if I need an X after that? fuck it. Okay. Dude, they're going shot for shot. Basket Birds take the lead. They're hanging right with each other. F over X. Uh-oh. Basket Birds lose it out of bounds off the pass. That's going to leave the door open for a Philosopher's lead chance. Good! Running Man with the short range J. Pet it into Nick Cage. No good! Chance to extend the lead now for the Philosophers. Pass over to Shotmaker, top of the arc. Oh, it's popped free, but they get it back! And miss. Nick Cage on the recovery. Gonna give to somebody who gives it right back. Baylor. No, they lose it out of bounds again! I was talking a lot. I don't know what quarter it is. The New York Unorc. What is a Unorc? N-E-T-E, nets. I think... Okay. I'm glad that came up, actually, because it didn't even occur to me that, the Nets are also in the game already. And I can just change their location from New Jersey to Brooklyn. Brooklyn will fit inside of New Jersey. So... Yeah. Oh, dude, New York. You're right. So it's the New York N-E-T-E... Yeah. Yeah, they were... Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I'll do that, yeah. I'll write that down. Nice, so that gives me, 3 ideas for new teams. I'm not gonna tell you guys the other ones. I'll let you be surprised, but... Nets equals... the Nets. Philosophers falling apart. Oh. Thought they were about to make that shot and prove you wrong. Uh-oh. Oh, good block. They get it back. We are into the final quarter. Almost into the final 3 minutes. 34-30. Basket Birds lead. Running Man hits one. Nice hook shot from inside the key. Planning on putting the key in and drive. Oh, they lose it out of bounds again. Chance to tie for the Philosophers. A win over the Basket Birds would be huge. It could really upset the potential Stoop final seeding. Oh, a charge. I mean, a push. It's the defense, it's a push. It's the offense, it's a charge. Running Man did hit the sky hook earlier. Let's see if they've got another one in them. Fire Trooper with another one. Oh, no. Defensive rebound for the Basket Birds. Baylor right on in. I will say they have boxed him out a lot better. Every game so far, he's been just running straight to the basket. Lots of open looks. And just judging by the score, that hasn't been the case as much today. Can they... Whoa! Oh, they get the offensive rebound and get it blocked and lose it. Jerry West steals it away from Kyle Schneider very fast and then slams it down. That's going to make it a 6-point game. And Philosophers losing track of it. Can they get back in it? We are entering the final 90 seconds. Another block! Jerry West has got Kyle Schneider's number. Elgin Baylor has got 2 more points. And it's an 8-point game. Man, okay. This fourth quarter. Oof. Slam it! Damn it! I love you. Oh, Jungle Evil still a little worked up on the adrenaline from that slam dunkaroo. Draws the push on the defense. Kareem gives to Bob. Bob catches a charge. Push. I thought if you knock him over offensively, then it's charging. I don't know the rules, man. I'm just here to have fun. Fire Trooper hits one. We got a 4-point game with under a minute to go. Uh-oh, you can't let Kareem just go right to the basket though. You can't let Kareem just go right to the basket. That's I hear that's a bad idea. Oh, there's a charge. That's gonna give the ball right back to the basketballers. That's a numbskull charge by Kyle Schneider. And Bob hits it. That was a flop. Damn, Chev dropping the F word. Who was it that got fouled? Who are you accusing of flopping? I can't remember now. I think it shows who gets fouled on screen. Fuck. Oh, Bob. They're just trying to run out the clock. Philosophers cannot get it. Oh! Not that it matters. They'll call a timeout, get to the other side of the court. 9 seconds to go. They're down by 8. They're going to take a nice long... Okay. Well, it was a close game, but the Basketbirds took care of business in the fourth quarter like they should. They came in the #1 seed, and they intend to leave the same way. And that'll do it. 44-36, although they were held to, I think, their lowest scoring total yet. Indeed. Indeed, and this is only the second game in which they haven't broken 60 points. I know, they don't even take the three. That is, okay, see, that is the basketball equivalent of whenever it's like 4th and 20 with 30 seconds left and they run the ball in SGFL with a doo-doo offensive line. It's the same thing. It's just sometimes they don't make good choices. My goodness, Philosophers actually shot 4 3-point. Well, there's why he didn't shoot that 3-pointer at the end. They'd already tried 4 times and couldn't seem to find it. Maybe they lacked confidence down the stretch. And that is what cost them. And they'll drop to 2-3, and the Basketbirds will improve to 5-0. Oh my. With only 3 games to go in the regular season, they seem like a shoo-in for the finals. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's getting very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see who our leaders were. Jerry West with the 14. Nick Cage went 0 for 4. No points. Elgin Baylor, 12. Bob had 2. Kareem had 16. Fire Trooper, 2. Schneider, 4. Running Man, 6. Shotmaker went 8 for 8, 16. If only he'd shot 8 more. And then Jungle Evil went 3 for 3 for 6. Well, I mean, what are you guys doing? You guys are shooting what? Shoot more. Shoot more often. What are you doing? Playing no goddamn defense is what they're doing. Moving on. Ballers at Robots coming up next. Here, I'll set up that last prediction and we'll get the next one going. Ballers at Robots. Robots. There we go. Fire that up. And let's just jump right on in, dude. But nice, because the other 2 ideas I have for second-gen teams are like new ideas that haven't been represented in any league yet, and then the Nets will be another sister team similar to Handsome and Bayou and Acania. And that'll be a good amount.
New York was the one other like sister team I was already planning. Like I said, I was thinking about doing the Knicks. So they were the one other sister team I was thinking about adding just because,
I mean, it's New York. It makes sense. They actually have teams there. What about the PP Poo Poo? Maybe third gen. I don't know. I don't want to add too many teams at a time. Is another thing. I'm probably only going to add 2 at a time. In SGFL, we did 4. But, I talked about this last week, I think. When we do expansions for this, I'm going to probably just do 2 teams at a time. Yo, Dennis. What up, dude? Thanks for the lurk. Hope you're doing well, dude. Thanks for the points to the community challenge. Yo, Basket Birds are 5-0. They had to beat the Philosophers to get there, so, you know, bit of a catch-22. But, hey, it was a good game until the 4th quarter. But, you know, hope you're doing well, dude. And, yeah, goaltenders, Acania is the defenders from the SGFL and then the goaltenders of the SGBA. That one, okay, so first I came up with the 69ers just because 76ers, 69ers, yuck, yuck, yuck. And then I was like, defenders, goaltenders rhymes with defenders, and it sounds similar to how in football a defender is a thing, which I guess in any sport a defender is a thing, but especially in football, right? That's a particular term that gets used a lot. And you get it. It works. I was very pleased with myself with that one. The Acania goaltenders. Not on golf. That's true. That's true. Not most sports where it's like a single participation kind of thing, or an individual. Well, that's not true, actually. Not golf. You're right about that. I think expansions will be interesting because the basketball games run longer. Do they? I didn't time a ton of them, but generally they seem to come out to be, on average, about as long as an SGFL game. Why would excuse me. Why would what does expansions have to do with that? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. My pen's biting me, yo. Damn. Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. The robots are leading the ballers? What's going on? At the end of the first quarter, it is 8-4. Yes, that's a basketball score. Not some sort of high-scoring baseball game. The robots, the 0-4 robots, are leading the 4-0 ballers by twice their score and looking to make it more. Shot by Toadman. Oh, wayward, no good. Android 17 takes it. Fast breaking away. Oh, nope. Gets cut off. Finds the lane. And gets to the bucket. Isn't golf with defense just croquet? How many games does SGBA play? It plays 8 regular season games currently. So, what I did here, peep this and go to the standings tab, if you like, and you will notice that all 8 teams have been paired into duos. And the duos play each other twice, but everybody else plays each other once. That way we could get an even 8 games instead of 7 games. Yo, what up, Blue? Welcome back to the Stoop and the Stoop Gang Basketball Association. How you doing, dude? Good to see you. But yeah, So 8 regular season games. It's very much modeled after SGFL because that's just more manageable, and not like actual basketball with tons of games. Manageability while still preserving competition. Doing it week to week. But yeah, it will become more. The goal is to probably get it up to 10 or 12 games, make it a little bit longer maybe than an SGFL season, which would be true to basketball, but only a little bit. And the postseason will have series. This season we're doing just a championship series. Next season I'm probably going to expand the playoffs, but I wanted to let the first season. I wanted to go straight to the championship and do just one playoff series so we can proof of concept how a playoff series is going to feel. Because it's going to be basically matching up the same 2 teams minimum 3 times in a row. We're doing a best of 5 because that seems like a best of 3 seemed too short. Best of 7 seemed a little long in the tooth or something like this. I put a lot of thought into it, and I'm sure a lot more will go into it before it's fully grown, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, definitely don't want to do 80 games. That was and I thought that might like be compromising, but it's really not. It's not necessary. Just follow I do the same thing with boxing during a boxing season, just follow the same week to week format. It works. Treat the sports league like kind of like a TV show and just let it be week to week. The robots keep missing dunks. This is sad. That happens to them a lot. They need a dunk bot. They get a block. Oh, Raditz gets the steal right back. Quick double change of possession. Oh, and then a charge will give the ball back to the robots. They only up by 2 now. But we're nearly at halftime. This is a low scoring game. Oh my goodness, Drill Man cannot hit it. Yeah, they're having some trouble. They're having some trouble out there. Ballers must be having some trouble too. I cannot believe this. This is I don't know if they're flat or getting exposed. Whoa, missing again. Toadman gonna try to go up by 4. He'll get there. Long shot. Oh, he hit the rim. 14-10 halftime. This is a football score. Ballers have shot 5 of 20. Robots are shooting 41% and winning. And it's because the Ballers have hit a quarter of their shots, and that's it. Yeah, if they could make dunks, it'd be like 22-10, but, well, they can't.
Also, golf with a pass rush sounds like a really wild idea.
I actually wanted to find a golf game that would work, but no golf games let you just watch, except for Hot Shots Golf, and I want to be able to create OCs. So, impasse. Blue had a long day. Happy to be here in the stoop now. I'm happy to have you, dude. I'm doing well. Good to see you, Blue. I'm sorry you had a long day, dude. Glad you, I guess, just getting home. Welcome back to the stoop. Always good to have you around, bub. Hopefully your day gets a little shorter soon. Find that around 33% of teams making the postseason seems to work best as far as balancing excitement with sense of justice, if that makes sense. Oh, dude. I mean, I think that totally depends on, like, what you're going for. Because, like, my intention is to expand this. This is only... the playoffs for this league season, this season, is only so short just to be proof of concept. The intention is to expand it eventually. In SGFL, half the teams make it, but that's because, like, I stream it and I want it to be fun to watch. And, like, it's already a highly competitive regular season that leads into a really strong postseason most of the time. It just depends. Like, I totally get like where you're coming from, but it's definitely not traditionally how we do it. And like, yeah, my thought process is just mainly like I'm streaming it and I want it to be fun to watch. So like I like balancing that. We're very, 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 very stringent about maintaining high level of competition and keeping it competitive, while still, you know, letting the teams grow and change organically however they will. But yeah, what am I even trying to say? Just, yeah, basically the reason we just for SGFL let half the teams make it is fuck, I'm drawing a blank. Explaining things is hard. I feel like a shorter regular season should have wider playoffs anyway. Yeah, I get that too. Just to, because you can't, I mean, because a short regular season only gives you so much to go off of initially anyway. I think that's basically what I'm saying. Well, that and keeping the competition being important, then also making it like I said earlier, something fun to watch. Because like, if 8 teams make the like, I totally get where Roger Goodell is coming from when he's like, we should expand these playoffs so it's more fun for the casuals. I get that now, because if your team is just on the outside, feels bad. Wish they were in there. Be more fun. I totally get that. So it, like, that's an element of it too. That definitely like plays a card or plays a hand. Let's get into the second half of what is an interesting game so far. But yeah, it's finding that balance and whatever works for whatever sport, league, thing in particular you're going for. Because when we first started, we had 8 teams, and we did 3 playoff games, but still half the teams made it. So I guess always half of the teams have made it. Well, no, actually, whenever there were 12 teams, only 5 did. So, it's evolved a lot too. I don't like the I don't necessarily, I like the expanded playoffs. I don't mind number 1 being the only bye team, or team to get a bye. The only bye team. I think that's fair, because I'm really, you know, I'm really big on like high valued regular season play. And you get an extra team in there anyway, so it's like, is valuing regular season play higher and also not? It's kind of weird. I don't like the extra regular season game. I would have rather them add an extra bye week like they did that one time in the 90s. If they wanted to have an extra week to schedule more games on, because that's all they wanted, was they just wanted an extra week to make a little more revenue, because, you know, that moolah, baby. I hate the uneven amount of games. That's one thing. SGFL, SGBA, we will always have an even amount of games. Fuck that odd number shit. At least for the fucking team sports. Fucking boxing, maybe not, just because I'm not exactly sure how scheduling for that will look like in the future when there's a lot more guys, but you know. But yeah, but like you get it on that level too, though. Like even if like I don't like every aspect of it, like I get it. Like it's not just like, you know, trying to keep it so only the absolute best of the best will win it all. You're also trying to keep a you know, X amount of fan bases as interested as possible for as long as possible too, and keep interest. And the wider the pool, the more like general interest, because anything could happen. Like why is March Madness so popular? Because there's a bajillion teams all playing in the same tournament. It's fucking sick. But that's March Madness. That's you know, that's that thing. But like you know what I'm saying. We're getting a lot of non-games early in the playoffs now. Are we? I mean, I guess you end up with a like pretty hefty mismatch with the 6 playing the 1 and like the 5 and the 2. Or no, not the 6 playing. The 6 playing the 2. Fucking my dumb ass. But like, I guess so. But like, I don't know. I haven't paid that close attention to how the early playoff games are. I just, in concept, I like it. What if maybe it's not actually working in practice? I don't know. MLB and NBA really didn't need expanded playoffs, especially with their monster regular season. Right. Like, that makes more sense. Because that was always one of my like one of the things I would compare, like what I was trying to avoid with SGFL whenever we were first like formatting it. And this is another good game. They're all tied up. Android 17 breaking the tie, giving the Ballers the lead. Whenever we were first like coming up with, my biggest thing was making the regular season like valuable in terms of the postseason. And it is, even though a lot of teams make it, it plays heavy into seeding and it being so short. But with a long season like what the NBA has, or fucking baseball especially, a lot of that has been decided. Like, we have data on data on data in the standing sheets that you know, kind of shows who should be competing for so I get that. I get wanting to expand it too, because running sports leagues now, so I get it. Oof. Ballers are running away with it. But I also like, there's that part of me that's like, you don't need to do that if you have a giant regular season, because then what is your regular season even for? Classic Chris Jinx. Well. It really hadn't made its way into SGBA yet. I guess every dog has his day. And I'm the dog today. Actually, do I like the way NFL plays out with just one bye team, but still prefer the 12-team field? Probably just because I'm old now, and it felt like there was hope for the future back in my day. I get that too. You have to keep that in mind when things change too. Is like, do I dislike this just because it's new? And sometimes it's definitely the case, but sometimes the new thing sucks. Sometimes it does. Man. I'll say it. Sometimes the new thing sucks. I said it. I think there's a little more room for wacky outcomes in a league like SGFL. Yes. Well, I mean, and that's also like, you would think, but like, well, first place from the regular season has technically only won the Super Bowl twice. The last 2 seasons, actually, 4 and 5. So, yeah, I guess we have had a lot of, like, not a lot. I mean, there's not exactly a giant pool of data for postseason stuff, yet being only 5 completed seasons. But and the formatting changing every 2 seasons until now. So, what was the question? No, there's been a fair amount of underdogs doing well, and just but I mean, you know, like it's one of those things you don't not want that to happen. You want to leave the possibility open, but you want to let things decide themselves based on the team's abilities. And I think that it's set up well. I think Cheb did a really good job with the progression algorithms that they came up with, and the like development algos and all that shit. It's again, so far relatively actually a small data pool, but it's getting larger and larger. It seems to work out well. Teams do seem to genuinely change over time. The Ballers changed the outcome of this game around the 4th quarter. Had just a way better second half. Outscoring the Robots 22-10 in the second half. Woof. 32-22. Ballers are 5-0. Robots are 0-5. Woof. So next week we get both undefeated teams and both totally defeated teams playing each other. How fun. How fun. Oh, 22-8. Oh my. You're right. My mistake. Once again, why I love SGFL playoffs for their balance of a wide field and rewarding regular season performance. Yes, I mean I think they do. They have a wide field. I think we did a good job striking a balance of, like, you would think like a lot of teams in the postseason that, you know, wouldn't value the regular season very highly, but the way we set it up, it does. Because of how regular season play leads to the tiering system. And, like, rather than there being only one bye, if you are in first place in the SGFL in your conference, you get 2 byes straight to the championship game, the Silver Showdown, we call it. If you're in if you're in second place in the conference, you get a pass straight to what would be the divisional round equivalent, the Contenders Cup. And then the bottom 2 qualifying playoff teams play each other in the wild card. Winner goes to the play the number 2. Winner of that plays the number 1. Winner of that plays whoever wins the other tower over there. It's it's fantastic. It's a great system. I love it. I think it's really good. Waters down everything for MLB to expand playoffs and reeks of cash grab. It made sense for 2020 because of the shortened season. Yeah, right. But yeah, it's, I don't know, man. Yeah, 162 games. Wait, has a team with the losing record made the playoffs in baseball? Why would that ever happen with a 162 game season? Shorten the season. They're not gonna do that though, because I mean, that's money. It's money gone. Oh, I didn't even realize. Loki, do you know how SGFL playoffs works? I do not. I didn't even see that before I explained it. I just explained it because I be like that. But nice. Okay. Good. the question was out there. Player stats progress year to year because these games didn't have like multi-season franchise mode, right? No, they didn't. But Cheb is really smart, and we have millions of spreadsheets. Millions and millions of spreadsheets. And Cheb does a really good job. They came up with the algorithm for the progression and the draft algorithm, and so they do progress your season to season. I don't understand it, but it works really well. Yo, Ricky, what up, dude? welcome, welcome in. The baskets be ballin', dude. We've got one more basketball game coming up. Let's see what our Hardman and Toadman were the only ones to score points for the robots. Everybody else didn't do anything. Mega Man didn't even take a shot, dude. Did not fire a single lemon. Android 17 was leading the way for the Ballers. We've got one more game coming up for SGBA, and then we've got SGFL coming up after that. Let me settle this prediction. Okay, crime at rocks. Just keep this moving. Not by an in-game mechanic. I have an algorithm that modifies player stats each season based on their age, potential stat, and of course randomness. Yes. Dude, it's so like, I mean, it's I'm constantly impressed by it. Cheb does a really killer job on the algorithm stuff. The math stuff, Cheb kills it. I'm incapable of stuff that level. The baskets are ballin'. But yeah, was my explanation of the playoffs, the SGFL playoffs, okay? SGBA is just going to be the 5-game series, like I said earlier, between the top 2 regular season teams for now. Next season we'll expand that. But did I go too fast? Or anything? I was kind of just... I didn't even realize that y'all were talking about explaining it, and I just started doing that, so I don't know. But yeah, Ricky, welcome in. Anything interesting happen? We've had the last 2 games were close going into the 4th quarter, and then it turned into blowouts. Well, not really blowouts, but, you know. Nothing too crazy. The undefeated teams are still undefeated. The winless teams are still winless. This last game coming up looks like it might be good. 2-2 Crime versus 2-2 Rocks. I got a feeling this will be a good one. So hyped for Masataka Yoshida? I do not know who that is. Did you settle the predictions for SGFL last night? Yes, I did. I have to settle the last prediction before I can start a new one. So I forgot to settle it last night, but whenever I started the first one from today, I settled it up. Devils won. If you didn't catch the end of the game. Sounds dialed in. In the case of SGFL, which has kind of informed SGBA, SGBA will not have to crawl for as long before it walks because the SGFL is already running. But SGFL definitely crawled and then walked and then ran because it's permutated. Every couple of seasons we've had expansions and then reformat. After last expansion, we've hit a level of I think homeostasis where we're gonna have a solid format that'll last for a while. But it's really just been a process of like every season has felt like the proof of a new concept. And I mean, even now, we're still working on... Oh, Cheb. I am not Tommy Tallarico. I give full credit where due. Working on refining the overtime rules. Because we had the default sudden death overtime with the coin toss, and it was deciding quite a few games, truth be told. Even if they were exciting finishes, we hit a point. I think season 5 we had so many overtime games, and so many of them were decided when we looked at it afterwards by the coin toss. and they were like super nail biter exciting, and then it would be like, well, whoever wins the coin toss would end up winning, and that's it. You don't necessarily realize it at the time, but yeah, fucking Tommy Tallarico. You don't realize it at the time necessarily, but looking at it afterwards, it's like, oh, if the coin toss is deciding, that's not very good. So Cheb had the genius idea of just getting rid of overtime altogether. I pushed back, but was convinced that no overtime is better than bad overtime. And the goal is to have unlimited overtimes that are just treated like a new quarter. And that will mean no ties ever again. So the goal is to have perfect overtime, and until then, we will have ties as necessary. If we have perfect overtime, there will be no ties ever again, but until then, ties when necessary. For football. But yeah. Fuck Tommy Tallarico, yo. I said it! Think so. I was taking the dog out, so it was hard to hear in the wind. But that's on me. It sounded cool with the different round buy system. You'll, if not, you can, I can explain it again at some point, or, if you look on the, schedule and standings, if you go to the playoff section, you can kind of see how it's set up. And otherwise, it's pretty straightforward once you get you're like familiar with like sports and shit, so you'll probably take to it pretty quickly. Kind of once you see it, you'll get what we're going for, what we're up to. Yes, that's why I guaranteed no overtime yesterday. Ah, someone's listening. Always kind of like ties. I don't know why. See, I have been conditioned to not like ties. I'm coming around to them a lot more. Cheb really got me, like, thinking about them a little differently. Because it's not like... I always felt like I was getting gypped because there wasn't a winner. But it's like, actually, you just watched a really good game between two evenly matched opponents. What are you complaining about? Well, if it's the Cowboys playing, I'm complaining about not getting the goddamn win. But other than that. So, it just... I usually consider myself more of a sports fan than just a... Like, I have my team. Or teams, right? But I like just sports in general. And so... If I like just strong performances... A tie is like the epitome of the dual strong performance. Or the dual wacky performance, where it's like 3-3 the whole way, and we just can't seem to find our way through the mud. Whatever the deal may be. And yes, the playoffs, it is more intuitive than it sounds at first. I kind of rapid fire explained it, and I'm... As we saw when I froze during halftime trying to explain why we have playoffs, more teams for fun. As you can see, I get I'm not the best at explaining things all the time, but it is very intuitive. Very, very, very good idea. Cheb came up with that too. The initial like tower system, because it used to be a single tower, and first place in the regular season got a bye to the championship game. We don't do that anymore because there's two different conferences now. It was neat back in the day. It's better now, being two different ones and just adding to the competition a little more. But yeah, it's very intuitive, very, very... I like it a lot. It's similar to bowling tournament structure, apparently. So, fun fact. Was gonna ask about the site with standings and stuff. Yeah, we do not have a fancy website. Dude, I am jealous of your cool website. I might need to get something like that going for the SGFL. It looks really nice. But we have a ton of Google spreadsheets. And I do my level best to format all of the public ones of those to be nice and legible. Is it free? See, that's all you had to say. Because at the very, if it's free, I can just dick around with it.
You literally don't want to know how many spreadsheets.
Between me, Cheb, and Axion now, there are so many. And, like, every season we need new ones because after the season is over, some of them become outdated and you just gotta, I mean, it's absurd. But yeah, I might look into making an SGFL site on WordPress if it's free. Because I was very impressed with, like, just, I don't know, the whole... He says, oh, do you have a website? That's cool, man. I don't know. I thought the whole, like, layout and everything, all the tabs for the different categories and shit, very cool. It made me want one. Yeah, dude, no problem. Absolutely. Thanks for the inspiration. Ah, okay, so there's ads on it and like a photo limit. See, that might... Well... I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll look at it and see. Let's fire up this final game. Crime at Rocks. Yo, Spuds! Just in time for our final basketball game of the evening, but just in time for a good time as well. We've got plenty more going on. Oh my god, I got the fucking boips. Sorry. Spuds, good to see you, dude. Welcome back to the Stoop and the Stoop Gang Basketball Association. We also got some SGFL action coming up a little later. Hope you're doing well, dude. Thanks for the points to the community challenge as well. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Get rid of the Dingleberry. Gotta get that out of there. We should expand the tournaments. Double round robin followed by a championship double elimination bracket. Expand the... You talking about the college tournaments? Are they not big enough already? I mean, you know what? Go off. I like it.
Ah, okay, you had some experience with WordPress.
Is it fairly, like, intuitive, or... Like, for if I have, like, no experience with making a website at all? No, the SGBA and SGFL. We should make all the basketball teams play football and make all the football teams play basketball, and then make the winners of both of those play each other in some sort of hybrid sport called blitzball. I'm with you, Ricky. I'm stepping in what you're putting down. Super easy. Don't gotta know shit about coding or anything. Nice, because I am a baby brain. It took a lot for me to finally even feel like confident enough to try hacking for this. I'm really glad that I did it now, though. I feel so smart when I'm hacking a NES game. Oh my god, when I'm working on SGBA, it's so damn tedious, but I feel so smart. Yeah, 0-2 on the free throws. SGBA shooters are not super automatic on the free throw line. They seem to look at it the same way as just shooting a jumper from about the same range. Contested or otherwise. But yeah, I am really glad to, like, have picked up more of that, like, more computer knowledge as needed. I still wish I had more. I wish I had taken, like, a computer class in school. I never fucking did. Or I took the dumb person ones, like typing. I type really good, though. I'd make an awesome receptionist. As long as I ain't got to answer your phone. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I wish I took some kind of, like, coding class or something like that. I wish I, like... I wish as a kid I had seen more of the ways in which math would be applicable to things I liked and enjoyed, and the ways I could use it to expand on those things. Because that's something I've only explored in the last, like, few years, really. Thanks in large part to Stoop Sports. Woo! That was a long 3 for Camper Jerry. Did not hit it. Crime leading the way as we head to the second quarter. 14-8. Kent Paul. Ooh, missing the layup. Camper Jerry on the fast break. You like the way I go from just talking about whatever to snapping into announcing the game? I have to announce the game a little bit, too. It's technically what I'm here to do. Well, the basketball games are so fast-paced, it's a lot more like... Or, so it's not more fast, because SGFL is incredibly fast-paced also, but, like... I guess there's less happening, necessarily, moment to moment, so I can just stop and talk for a while. Sounds hard, but actually... wait, no, but in actuality, it's pretty basic Python. Want to step up my game with other stuff. I just want to be good enough to hack Super Nintendo games for now. That's like the next dream. And I gotta wait for. The only reason this happened is because I like one afternoon I was like, fuck it, I'm a hyperfixate, and then I did for a week and got a bulk of the work done. And then like 3 months later, I did with Axian's help, I did the logos and stuff. But, like, took, like, long breaks between working on it because I procrastinate and lack motivation at times. Also, just I wasn't looking forward to working on the logos because I'm not a very good artist. But, I mean, they came out. They came out. We reused some assets on some of them. We made originals on other ones. They came out. Know how that goes? Yeah, I think that's just part of doing anything, like, even semi-creative. But yeah, for me, I'm very much, I'll do a bunch of shit at once, and then I'm spent. And then I'll do a bunch of shit at once, and then I'm spent. Ricky, you're bad at coding. Ricky, you think you're bad at everything, man. You gotta give yourself more credit, dude. Goes in spurts, yeah. Yeah. Wish I knew anything about that stuff. It's getting harder to learn new skills, too. Dude, I feel that, like, the desire, like, has to be extremely high, and then the will has to be even higher. And, like, and then again, with just, like, the way I, like, I'll hyperfixate on something or just get really into something for, like, a little while. But that doesn't necessarily lead to, like, very strong retention. So, like, last December, I did a bulk of the text editing for this, and then in February or March, I went back and did the logos. I forget what I'm even trying to say. God damn it, dude. I hate when I do that. Oh, I lose my train of thought so often. Let me see. That is not a totally original Geodude drawing. It is slightly edited. Gutsman is also slightly altered, but you will never be able to tell how. Ricky's probably super good at everything he does. See, that's what I'm saying. I think he's just modest. Vice City handing it to the Rock so far. We'll see if they can continue. They are looking a little satanic on the field goal percentage, but hey, maybe they made a deal with the devil. Is that a crime? Yes, Pewter City, the Pewter City Rocks, and their logo is a Geodude. Yeah, there we go. I had to wait for the delay to see if I pointed at it. As you can see with their logo, they are from the Pewter City, and if you look at their oh, here, I think I showed you SGBA profile. I showed you the SGFL profiles. We also have profile cards for the basketball teams because I really like making those. I think they're cute and informative. And who don't like something that's cute and informative? Come on. But yeah, they are from Pewter City, Kanto. They came a long way. Well, actually, we're in their home court right now, so I guess we went a long way. Indeed. No, and the Geodude's 100% not a Pokemon, yeah. Thank you, Cheb. Cheb avoiding the lawsuit. Stay dodging the lawsuits. Appreciate you. That's right. That's a completely original design, and anybody that says it's not is probably just working for Nintendo. Game Freak! Anyway, never made it higher than halfway on a rock climbing wall. Well, that's only because halfway up you were done. I know how you get down, Ricky. You're like, if I can go halfway, obviously I can go another half. I've already done half. So, scientifically speaking, if I've done one half, why would I do the other half whenever I can just go down another half, and that's the equivalent of doing two halves, which would be the same as going to the top, but it gets me back to the bottom twice as fast. Ricky, you're just smart. Modest ass. If anything, the Rocks might be the most dangerous of all the Stoopland sports teams. What? Most dangerous? Oh my god. Oh my god. Lance Vance just missed that fucking shot from in front of the basket. That was embarrassing. Did you see that? Wish I was smart. Me too, dude. I mean, do you see the way I fucking lose my fucking train of thought? I'm still trying to remember what I was talking about earlier. I was on a good train of thought about the editing process and the logo editing and the taking long breaks between, I don't know. Something about that. I took a long break between doing the text and then doing the logos. Oh, I remember. I was saying how it doesn't lead to very good retention. There's a few things that don't contribute very well to that in my brain. Let's see, retention. So whenever I went back to edit the logos, I had to relearn how to do it. It didn't take as long as learning it the first time, but I had to like kind of refamiliarize myself and look at some of the same videos that I had looked at about NES hacking. That's what I was gonna say. Fucking brain. In terms of potential trouble that they would cause just in the world. You ever sit there and wonder, what would Ricky do? The answer's probably take a nap. Hey man, heroes get tired too. I get it. My train of thought is often about losing my train of thought. That's fair, Loki. That's, I mean, accurate. See, you know that, and you just got here yesterday. Well, technically a few months ago, but you know. We're parachuting in for a while. Have to relearn things a lot, but I probably get a little better every time. Hopefully, maybe. Well, yeah, I mean, that goes into, like, refreshing your memory rather than learning it again. Like, technically, it's not, I guess, relearning. It's just refreshing, but yeah. Fuck, man, my brain's not cooking super good today. But, like, also with, like, picking it back up quicker, hopefully you'd learn some new things as well along the way. Nintendo is super litigious and Pokemon is their biggest moneymaker. Oh, I see what you're saying in terms of issues with game companies. That's, yeah. If we have to change it at some point, we will. We'll change it to the please understand rocks, and it'll be just we'll take off the arms and the eyes. Or no, we'll take off the arms and we'll make it look like a normal rock, and then we'll put Akira Toriyama's face on it. And then we'll wait to get in trouble for that. Please understand. That sounds good already. Well, maybe they'll go through a rebrand later. I mean, we could find a decent, like, low pixel count picture of Akira Toriyama that would bitmap decently, and then just copy it. Oh, my ideas are just swirling. I can use your brain, Blue? Dude. All right, but I'm gonna... you can't use mine also. I'm gonna need both of them to really, like, have a shot. So I hope that's okay. No, yeah, not the legality of the ROM hacks, but the inspiration of the logos, and possibly like team references. That's something we've always kept in mind. Obviously, I'm very small, and so I don't have to worry about anything right now, but that's something Cheb and I have always, like, kept in the back of our minds with SGFL teams. That's why I mean, some of the Void teams are based on, like, properties, but they're easy to rebrand and still keep the team name. They're not super, like, but as far as, like, just always knowing that there's a chance we'd have to change something because we get a C and D or whatever. But that would never happen because, I mean, having a team in a Stoop Sports League is quite the honor. And I think folks know that. So I think it would be okay. Yo, shout out to Vice City getting the Dubsky here against the Rocks by a good margin, 14 points. Rocks shot 37.5%. I'll tell you what, that's what shot him. That and the rise in crime. Look at the rebounds by Crime. 22 rebounds. Good Lord. Good Lord. That's a lot. The Birds have played. What up, Dennis? Birds played a little earlier. This is our last game for SGBA tonight. Birds played. Birds won. Birds are still undefeated. How you doing, Dennis? Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome back to the Stoop. I would say welcome back to the SGBA, but SGBA is just about over. We're about to get in to SGFL here in a little bit. We got to look at some stats and stuff first, but yeah. Anyway. Caw! Caw! Yeah, the Birds are front runners, man, for going to the finals. And I mean, pretty soon they'll be a shoo-in because there's if they keep winning and things keep going this way, they're gonna end up in a position where they can't be caught. Technically, apart from the sprite, this is so derivative that copyright can't really touch it. Referencing something isn't against copyright. See... Yeah, there you go. Cheb makes a good point. You both make good points. Ricky, I agree with you, but I also like you can't. I'm small and broke. I ain't getting no lawyer against Nintendo. Are you kidding me? If they say something, I'm just gonna change it, and then I'm gonna laugh about it and tell the story. It's just what it'll have to be. There in no way. No way am I gonna wrestle with Nintendo. I'm just gonna hang out until they, you know, throw down the challenge. You'll represent me in court against Nintendo, Dennis? I'm definitely going to prison then. Never been much of a Pokemon guy, but I think I'm a Rocks fan despite this performance. I like the Geodude and the gray scheme. Isn't the gray scheme nice, right? Just wait until you see their road jerseys. They wear white at home, obviously, and then their court is their team color, and then on the road they wear the team color is their jersey. It looks super good as a jersey too. I think they use a darker gray for the jersey. Or is it? Oh, God. I think. But, yeah, nice. Hell yeah. Rocks fan. Loki, I like that you're very quick to pick a team. I know last night you were talking about jumping on the bandwagon, but I don't know how many people have favorite teams. I know some people do. Dennis likes the Billies and the Basketbirds. Cheb likes the Starmen and the Goldens. The Jets have fans. The Billies have fans. The Crew has fans. But, like, generally speaking, definitely not all teams yet. So, I like that.
B-I-L-L-I-E-I-I. Billies.
If you want to align yourself with a team and root for them, good. I think you should. And the sooner you start doing that, the better. Because I think it's badass. That's what I'm trying to get at. Anyway. Gotta fight him publicly as your springboard to superstardom. I hear you, but I do not want to be executed by Nintendo Death Squads. So, no. My dad works at Nintendo, and he said it's okay. Okay, well, there you go. We got the okay from Axian's dad. You also like all of Void Division. I mean, true. I like a lot of different teams. Despite getting a lot of credit for being biased, I may have a favorite team. I might. I don't know who they are, but they might be out there. They might be in first place, bitch. But, like, I like lots of different teams. I think all of the teams are good. We did not, there was no, like a financial incentive for letting a team into the league, like there would be with, like, we want to join your league. We're a ball club, like in the fucking 30s and shit when that was a thing or whatever. So it was entirely just, like, creative based, so we didn't make ones that we didn't like. However, we are still open to the possibility of one day a team folding and a new team taking their place or a team moving. We've talked about it, at least, so I don't know. The stoop is an organism. Observe as it undulates. Let's see who the league leaders were. Not league leaders, team leaders. Earthbro with the 10. If you're wondering who Earthbro was, that was the Geodude. Perhaps the Geodude from the logo. That's the name of the Geodude from my Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke from a couple years ago. Fun fact. There's some more lore for you. Accepting bribes. I'm not cheap. What? See, players come to Cheb and they're like, get me on the All-Star team, Cheb. And they slip him a 50. Made one you don't like for Atlantica. They're the bad guys. See, that makes sense, though, because you're, like... For Atlantica, you're doing, like a more fully fledged, like, world building around it. Like, it takes place on, like a unique, like, fictional continent, and there's, like... I read that shit about the war. I read that. Oh, yeah. So, like, there's a lot of, like... And, like... For SGFL and, like, SGBA and Stoop Sports, it's, like, a hybrid of, like, fiction and reality because it really is happening here. We're doing it. We are here and it's happening. But, like, obviously, they are not real. But they're real to me. Does that make sense? Rather than the... Whereas with Atlantica, you did, like, the... Like... Put it in a setting, which I think is cool. That never even occurred to me. If it did, I probably would have gone that route too. But yeah, 50 is cheap. They're the bad dingleberry, as opposed to you got good dingleberries and bad dingleberries. If you've ever had a dingleberry, you would know. Lance Vance with a career high 32, only 10 points off from tying the record for most points. Yeah, Stoop is interactive and community-based. I'm a dictator, a god. Yeah, right. So there's that like difference. Going back to like what I was saying earlier about the like wanting the playoffs to like have enough teams to be like fun to watch for the people that are going to be watching and rooting. Like that, and that being that's a decision that's entirely made based on the fact that it's well, not entirely. We talked about like a lot of things that go into that, but that is definitely an aspect. Whereas with something that's an entirely like original project, or like whenever I would do these leagues as a kid, you know, it's totally, you know, whatever you say goes. And that's still mostly the case. I get final say with pretty much everything in Stoop Sports. Nothing happens that I'm not okay with, but or that I like don't like. But oh, I didn't record that score. Fuck, what was it? It was 50-34. No, 50-36. I'll have to check the VOD after to make double sure. 50-36, Vice City. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. Well, that's our final game of the evening. Let's take a look at our league leaders before we close this out and then get into SGFL. Elgin Baylor still rocking the best shot percentage. Then you got Angus Tobias, Rickard, Shotmaker, 777. He's a lucky guy. Who's got the most blocks? King Piccolo with 19. Most rebounds. Elgin Baylor with 30. Whew! He's averaging 6 a game. It's not bad. Who's got the most points? Huh? Rickard with 104, and Rickard has now gained some separation from his teammate Rhodey. 9 points ahead instead of just like a point difference between them. They had like a point difference between them the last 2 weeks, but Rickard is now pulling away for the scoring title. Steals? Jorge leading the league in steals with 3. That doesn't seem right. And then free throws. Oh, his free throw percentage has deteriorated a little bit because he only missed a couple this week. Nobody else is listed because nobody shot enough, I guess. And then free throws, same thing. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with that. I think with a traditional like default setup for a vanilla ROM, there would be enough teams playing enough games that data would get filled, but maybe there's not enough data to even bother listing stuff in the 3-pointer and free throw categories. That's my guess. Anyway, brief overview of that. Let's check who's coming up next week. We've got Basket Birds at Ballers. Undefeated teams going at it. There can be only one. And then Robots at 69ers. Both of them winless. There can be only one of that, too. Goaltenders at Vice City. That should be a good one. Both of them 3-2. And hoping that there's maybe a chance to catch the Basket Birds and Ballers, but... Well, or at least one of them. Steal a second-place spot. They're still relatively in the running, each of them. We'll see. We'll see. And then Rocks and Philosophers, both 2-3. Interesting. A lot of mirror matches happening next week. Week 6, the week of mirror matches of sorts. At least in terms of record. Everybody with the same record is playing each other. What are the odds of that? This far into the season. All right. And so that will do it for SGBA. I will update the spreadsheet after stream. Let's hit the Stope. And I'm gonna switch over my game, and we're gonna get SGFL Wednesday night games rolling in. Yeah, Basket Birds did a lot better than the Billies did last night. GG. I like the dancing GG. That's good. Let's play some music. Beautiful music. And then let's... we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we will get into SGFL Wednesday night games. We've got Patriots at Starmen and Jets. That's the New York Jets Jets at the Gecko Goldens. For tonight. Should be some interesting games. Yesterday had some really heated rivalry matchups, and tonight should feature much of the same, although we've got 2 winless teams going up against the top teams in their divisions. We've got last place going up against first place in the Heroic and Apocalypse divisions, respectively. It's probably going to get heated up in here real quick. So stay tuned if that sounds pretty cool.